It's a lavender oat milk latte. This is my progress for the test knit. The designer's inspiration is using scrap yarn, so that's what I'm doing. I used Google Translate because it's a pattern written in Finnish. So the way that it was formatted, I was reluctant to read it the format that it was written, just because of how quickly it increased, because the pattern had all the increases in one section and not all of the pattern was translated. So the first time I did this, I was like, maybe it's such a drastic increase for the sweater, because usually if you're doing the top down, it's gradual so that it fits over the shoulders. So even then, I still put rows in between the increased rows when I just did them all at once, and I knew it wasn't right. So eventually I figured out the way that it was formatted, and I translated some of the untranslated words and was able to see where to put the increases. So I had up to almost 400 stitches ripped back to like the short rows, and then I started over, and I'm super happy that I did. My godmother's preparing food for the road, so I'm just knitting in the car. This is the Knitter's Pride Pro Trends Acrylic Interchangeable Deluxe Set. So I saw this, it was super inexpensive, and I didn't mind the texture of the needles, because I have found that I am picky about the type of needle textures and the way that they feel and knit. So I'm hoping to enjoy knitting with them. As I mentioned in other videos, I really love the Knitter's Pride Ginger Shorties wooden needles, and the Chaogu needles, preferably the 4-inch, but I do like the 5-inch tips too. I just wanted to do a quick update for the cropped autumn lark garment. I originally used the peaches and cream, yellow, and I'm going to switch to the Hobby Lobby's I Love This Cotton yarn in the colorway Buttercup. I wanted to switch it because it's super nice to work with. I made a couple stitches with the Premier Cotton Blend yarn that I also have for this project, and I already love knitting with this yarn. The Peaches and Cream yarn is one that I've used for non-garment projects, but when I started to knit with it for a garment, the garment became so stiff and dense that I switched my needles a couple of times. I'm back to wooden needles, but I switched from the wooden needles to my stainless steel ones because I didn't want to snap the needles, the needle tips, since it was hard to move the stitches because it didn't want to move. So I still love the color, and I was thinking of maybe I would do a gradual or just a change in yarn, not even gradual, but I tend to go for solid colors for a lot of my knitted projects, and I wanted it for this one too. So I originally got I love this yarn, 100% cotton in the colorway Curry, which is this one. I then went back to pick up the Buttercup colorway, and I just feel like maybe it was like meant to be, because since this one is dark and it wasn't going to go in this project, I got the blue. It's another cotton yarn to go with the darker yellow. So this one is in the colorway Aspen, and it's right behind the yellow. So I'm just happy and relieved that I can finally start working on this garment again, and I feel like once I start fresh, it will all come together and be a breeze. And we're back to the short rows, and now I'm going to knit with the new yarn. I wanted to see if I was going to knit with the acrylic needles or the ginger shorties. So you can see that there's a difference in length. I switched out the yarn. It's a lot more enjoyable to work with. So I'm hoping to finish this by the end of summer. I think it's good timing too, because I don't usually wear the knitted garments in hot weather. But when I move overseas, I think I'll wear some of the knitted garments, at least at night and towards the end of summer. It's Hoagie Fest. I think it lasts for the whole summer, where it's $5 for half a sub or hoagie sandwich, and then $6 for the larger size. That's really good because they're expensive in some places. So I got this because my godmother went up to New York. There's still food for me here, but I figured I would get other things.
One's a little rosier.
Oh, jeez.
Purple. Goodness, I'm sorry. I think either one.
They both feel a little scratchy, but do they knit up soft?
They're both merino based.
Okay.
They soften, they bloom, and with the mohair, beautiful. You want to add anything to that, Fran? They're not scratchy.
Which one are we on?
Either Cautiva or Brusca.
They're gonna have the same feel.
Nope.
I don't think so. Nope. No, we went here because originally she liked the Rios. I said, wait a second, don't we have that color in Metro?
Metro by itself.
I think will work. You don't have anything knitted up with, well, you did. You put that.
We have that, yes. That's what it's like.
Arroyo? How much bigger than that? Oh! Chunky? Chunky Chaos?
Chunky chaos, yes. Right there.
How about this? How about this? What about Hey, Fran.
Yes.
Catch.
Petite knit.
Catch.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
I thought I'd be helpful.
Swing, bada, swing.
This is the thing where they want 14 stitches to 4 inches. This
You know
is much
what?
too thin.
This is where your heart is. You keep coming back to it.
You know, this was my
14
first
stitches.
one.
That's 3.5 stitches.